Hi everybody, Dr. Ray Blue here, and this is my movie review of The Princess Bride, the 1987 film directed by Rob Reiner, written by William Goldman, and based on his book of the same name. When it comes to fairy tales, The Princess Bride is likely one of the greatest tales told in cinema. This is a remarkably well-made film that has stood the test of time and is today one of my absolute favorite fantasy films, as well as a wonderful story of adventure, fencing, fighting, torture, revenge, and true love. The story is told to us by a young boy's grandfather, played by the late Peter Falk, who reads to his sick grandson, played by the late Fred Savage. Oh, he's still alive? Played by Fred Savage. The book, also titled The Princess Bride, tells the magical adventure of Buttercup and her lovely Wesley. Starting on a farm during the Renaissance, Buttercup, played by Wright, falls in love with her farmhand Wesley, played by Cary, who over time have fallen in love with each other and subtly express it with the simple phrase, "as you wish." After leaving to seek fortune so as to deserve Buttercup's hand in marriage, word gets back to Buttercup that Wesley has been killed by the dread pirate Roberts, and believing her true love to be dead, is begrudgingly now engaged to Prince Humperdinck. Just before the wedding, Buttercup is kidnapped by a trio of characters, Vizzini, a giant named Fezzik, and a Spanish swordsman named Inigo Montoya. Hired by Humperdinck himself, they are assigned to the task of murdering the princess so as to allow the prince to blame the death on their enemies in the land called Gilder, and create a pretense for war. Today we call this a false flag operation, I believe, yeah. The kidnappers are played by a fantastic cast with hilarious Wallace Shawn playing Vizzini, a role that was originally meant to go to Danny DeVito. Andre the Giant plays Fezzik, a role he was born to play, and Mandy Patinkin portrays the swordsman Inigo Montoya, who himself is seeking revenge for the murder of his father, killed by a six-fingered man. Prince Humperdinck is also a fantastic villain, perfectly placed in the tone of the story. Played wonderfully by Chris Sarandon, who gives the character charm and comedy, as well as being a devious and wicked foe. Spoiler warning here, but pursuing Buttercup and her comical captors is none other than Wesley, who turns out to have not been killed, but rather has been spared by the dread pirate Roberts, trained in swordsmanship, and then bequeathed the role of the dread pirate himself. After freeing Buttercup from the trio, we follow along on their adventure as they make their way through various dangers, like that of the fire swamp inhabited by ROTSs, rodents of unusual size, all along the while fleeing from Humperdinck's men, which includes the six-fingered man who killed Inigo's father. In addition to such obstacles, they are introduced to a magical cast of characters, including Miracle Max and his wife Valerie, played superbly by Billy Crystal and Carol Kane, who in many ways stole the show for me. This couple may be my favorite part of the film and provide some of the funniest moments, even though their appearance is quite short, but oh so sweet. The cast is superb, each one of them making a brilliant and masterful contribution to the film. Cary Elwes and Mandy Patinkin, who engage in one of the greatest sword fights in film history, both learned to fence for the movie, both left and right-handed, and performed all the fencing scenes themselves. Andre the Giant, who was larger than life in the film and in real life, he had a horrible back problem from his career in wrestling, and many of his scenes fighting Wesley or catching Buttercup required a bit of trickery. Cary Elwes would walk on planks behind Andre to simulate being on his back. Stunt doubles were used for far shots of him carrying Wesley, and cables were used to hold Robin Wright, allowing her to be held and caught by the gentle giant. Regardless, he was born for the part. Truly awesome. Filmed in various locations in Britain and Ireland and wonderfully designed sets, the backdrop for the story is gorgeous and every frame is right out of a storybook. This film is a masterpiece and remains a favorite even for the cast members who played in it. It is a beautiful and magical experience from start to finish, a comedy, a love story, and a true modern-day fairy tale. The film is absolutely a must-have for any family's home collection, worth its salt. Thank you for watching. Please comment below, like the video, give us your thoughts on The Princess Bride, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, tell your friends, and help spread the madness.